Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So I've had a nice couple of week break, and in that time, apparently everyone knows who Metallica are now. So yeah, it's been pretty interesting. I watched the Stranger Things series, and I thought it was awesome. And I'm really happy that it showed Metallica to a much wider audience, and also a younger audience. I think they're going to do. They are probably the biggest touring live band, but they're going to have a lot more fans now, if that's even possible. Master of Puppets really is a seminal album in the metal genre. For me, it's my favourite album they ever did. Don't listen to a lot of Metallica; it's a bit too metal for me. But the couple of tracks on here, like Master of Puppets and Battery, are just absolutely an assault on the senses. This riff, bear with me, I only looked at this about 5 minutes ago. It's completely down picked. It's really actually it sounds easier than it actually is because it's just all down picked. Let's go a little bit. It's a really tasteful riff. It uses the whole neck. I always want to alternate pick everything. You can't on this. I really want to, but you can't. I'm really glad that different people are seeing it, and a few people have sent me messages saying, "Oh, what do you think of Master of Puppets?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I've been listening to this for 20 odd years. It's awesome." If you're into the Stranger Things series and this has got you on here, then take a little look more at the character Eddie, because he's rocking a Dio jacket, a little denim jacket that was given to him by the Dio estate, and Dio is the godfather of metal. I've banged on about him loads and loads on this channel, but if you're a big fan of the character Eddie, don't stop at Metallica. Go back to the Dio, because that's integral to the part of the whole metal scene in that series. So have a look at that. Let me know what you think. This is Master of Puppets live at the Lollapalooza. So this is a pretty recent one. Don't know, maybe they'll even give a bit of a nod to Stranger Things in this one. Let's have a little look see. Yeah, they got Eddie there. I like that. That's pretty cool. It's that lovely bit. Just thunderous. I like the fact that they're giving a little bit of a nod to the Stranger Things. I mean, I think a lot of artists don't like it when mainstream programs or films use their music, but I think Stranger Things was so cool. I mean, look at Kate Bush. I mean, she's had an absolutely massive resurgence, and she was just basically, no one had talked about it for years, whereas Metallica are a current machine that are still, touring the world, big stadiums. So I wouldn't have, obviously I'm not reading anything, but if that was my music, I'd want it on Stranger Things. I think everyone else did as well. Be interesting to see if they do put any more in, if there's another series and they put any more in, and it brings anyone else up to the same sort of level that they did with Kate Bush's Run Up a Hill and Master of Puppets. Such a distinctive style in his voice. He's got, it's Hetfield because he's got this really gravelly, beautiful sort of throaty tone to his voice when he sort of shouts. He shouts, but he sings, if that makes sense. And it just, you know it's him instantaneously. He's an unbelievable, and a big, he's big. He's highly, highly underrated as a guitar player, because as a rhythm guitarist, I mean, he's unbelievable. He's right up there with the likes of Malcolm Young. He really is that good. And we'll go into Lars in a little bit. Thunderous bass line, absolutely thunderous. The best bit. I'm a big Lars Ulrich fan. He gets a lot of criticism for not being the most technically proficient drummer, and there's like loads of videos on like live fails of Lars, but what he does for Metallica is absolutely perfect. I cannot see anyone else coming up with some of those beats that he does. Some of his fills are really, really inventive. He is not going to be a Mike Portnoy. He is, he's not going to be that sort of cozy pal drummer. And the likes of those like Marco Miniman and all those things, they're a completely different type of drummer. And when Joey Jordison stepped in for him, he did a really, really good job. But I think he overplayed it, because Lars doesn't overplay. I think he's really tasteful. Yeah, all right, he's not, technically, the most proficient, but he's still better than 99.999% of drummers out there. And what he does for Metallica is bang on the money. He's never going to be a top 5 drummer that's ever walked the earth. But as a metal drummer, create an argument for what he's created is. Your life burns faster. That crowd, it's class. I know the dueling guitars, this always reminds me of being a bit Thin Lizzy-esque. Love it. Love a dual harmony in the guitar. Beautiful. Beautiful. You look at Lars there, not overplaying it, it's on the toms, not double kicking all over the place, just tasteful. the music perfectly. It's so really cool about watching people that, especially older bands, that are just masters at their craft. I mean, I haven't heard this song for a long time. I listened to, actually, sadly, I actually probably listened to the cover by, I think it's like Stone Sour, when I'm training. I do really like that cover. I don't know why I don't listen to this one more. Metallica really, I think for me, they've had a couple, 2 or 3 albums that I think are phenomenal. Some of the I didn't really like Kill 'Em All. It's a bit too raw for me. I know it's awesome, it's just a bit too raw for me. But stuff like this and Ride the Lightning, I think it's just absolutely sublime. I prefer Stain to Hammet, which is a bit controversial maybe with some of the Metallica fans. And I've always, when I watch them play live or listen to them, I always think, especially on like some of my favourite tracks like this, what it would have sounded like with Mustaine on lead. But Kurt Hammett is still an awesome player. Again, better than 99.999% of professional players, and probably better than 99% of all metal players out there. So. Give it some Hammett, go ahead. Love this drum fill now. Now, beautiful. He really is a down-kicking monster. What a show. Imagine being in the middle of that, spreading much of the mental. Now I'm thinking about, it's not Stone Sour's version I listened to, because they didn't do it, they did Creep in Death. It's Trivium's version, which is a really, really, really good cover of this.
Chicago, Lollapalooza! Metallica has fun tonight, how about you? Enjoy the rest of your weekend, my friends. It was a pleasure seeing you once again.
Don't know what Lollapalooza is, don't have it here in the UK.
You, my friends. Hey, 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 hey. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nice outro.
beautiful.
Awesome. What a show. Metallica are one of those bands that you can listen to their different versions of it live and be just as happy as the album track. There's not a lot of bands that can say they're as good live or even better live than they are in the studio, because lots of things get lost when you get them out of the studio when things are like heavily produced and they die on stage. This is a big sounding song, and this could be lost on stage, but they are so good. I don't think I've really watched a bad Metallica concert in the limited amount I watched, but that was a cracking version of Master of Puppets. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Did Stranger Things get you onto Metallica? Are you watching this as a new Metallica fan, or are you watching it like an old boy like me that used to listen to Metallica about 20-30 years ago, back when we were kids? Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Leave anything you want in the comment section, and I'll catch you on the next video.